Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your Britney Spears, but we're back with another EVE Online Alliance tournament match. It is going to be HYDRA Reloaded versus Solar Fleet. And I must say, I think HYDRA have a walk here.
Yes. Solar Fleet, known for bringing battleships. They like their big battleships. Not really the best ones, though. Like, battleships are great, but the Abaddon is not really a spectacular tournament ship.
So
and they're up against Dominic's.
Yeah.
And
so
HYDRA. So.
HYDRA, obviously, one of the stronger teams historically in the tournament. They've brought the setup that we've seen brought by all the other really strong historical teams here, the Triple Dominic setup. And they're up against something we haven't seen so far, Abaddons with an Armageddon and kind of sort of kitchen sinky support fleet. I mean, it's the Damnation Oneros is coherent, but the rest of it is, I don't know, doesn't seem amazing. And the Abaddons themselves just don't seem like something that can get them through here.
They're not enough, really. Yeah. They do good damage, great tank. They apply it to good ranges, but compared to a Dominic's in this case, which can just do so much, so we're seeing the Dommies dropping guards and burning away. So they're going to force Solar Fleet to move towards them through the guard swarm while they're not taking any damage themselves, as we're already seeing a Purifier.
Yeah, they already picked off a Saber, yeah.
Yeah, this is HYDRA, one of the odds-on favorites to win this, one of the strongest teams for sure, and they are showing some really, really effective flying here. Again, this isn't really a very complicated match for them. They just have to drop some drones and move away and shoot people.
I was hoping we would see Solar use MJDs to bypass, some of the distance, get over top of the guards and around some of the support. You can see right now, Kadesh Priestess in that Vengeance along with the Punisher flown by Suetonia. They're making it even harder for those Abaddons to get through. They went in and just tackled them right on top of the guards, basically.
It's just textbook. Like using the tanky frigs, the Punisher's the Vengeance, the tankiest assault frig, and the tankiest Tech 1 frigate. They're not going to die easily, especially under the reps. We've seen no E-War from Solar Fleet.
Right.
Or virtually none. I mean, they've got webs and a painter, but they don't have any damps. And so many people have been using damps, and there's a good reason for that. They're not popular for no reason.
And, of course, the HYDRA side is fielding a lot of damps. Most of their ships probably can't lock hardly anything. The Abaddons, as you can see here, able to shoot those tackling ships, but it's not going to do them any good because they're just too small and too fast for them to hit. And the Oneros, he couldn't really do anything anyway. I mean, he's just having to tank on his own right here. But even if he was able to not get shot at, he probably couldn't rep anybody else. There's nothing really for them to do here.
Yeah. I mean, the guards can track him at this range. He's trying to orbit around the side, keep up transversal. He's flying correctly, but it's just not going to be enough in this case as he slowly drops down. At this point, there isn't really a whole lot that Solar can do. HYDRA has pretty dominant control of this match.
Yes. That Oneros is about to drop. Once he goes down, they can kill whatever they want next, I suppose. It doesn't really matter. They'll probably kill a battleship or something. Something I wanted... Sure. I mean, one or the other, I'd say. Something I wanted to bring up, what was mentioned earlier in the stream, but if you guys are watching and you speak Russian or you can't stand us, you could learn Russian and go watch our Russian stream. We're also running alongside the tournament, which is really awesome. And they've got 1,800 viewers now, so there's clearly a lot of people interested in it. Definitely recommend that. And if you're Russian.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. We've got 2 dedicated commentators who, we at least get to swap somebody out. There's 3 of us.
They must be pretty exhausted.
There's the same 2 commentators. They are some ridiculous marathon commentators.
And they're going to be doing that for the rest of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So
yes. I don't know how they're going to actually manage it.
It's awesome.
They're Russian, and they're that much more badass than everyone else, I guess. Not applying to Solar Fleet, though.
No. Hopefully they do better than Solar Fleet. Who are dying. They've lost 2 retributions. Their logistics about to lose the last retribution, and then after that, just the 4 main core ships there left to take out. Do you think Dominic's are going to be an auto ban for the entire second 2 weeks?
I don't think they'll be quite an auto ban, but they will be probably among our most banned ships. It'll probably be either Dominic's or Mollis carries that get the most bans, but Dominic's will definitely be up there.
If teams have practiced a lot with Dominic's, if they know the setup is really strong, do you expect many of them, teams like HYDRA or Outbreak, to allow them through their bans because they're happy to bring them even if they think their opponents might also?
I mean, if you're really familiar with the setup, you probably also know its weaknesses. You'll probably have practiced a lot with the mirror setup, and you'll know how to win that. In that case, it really comes down to practice. And a team like HYDRA definitely going to be one of the teams that does the most practicing. They're very, very dedicated to the tournament. So yeah, I'd expect them to feel pretty safe about the mirror matchup with Dominic's.
First battleship about to drop that Geddon deep armor. There shouldn't be any reps left for him. You can see he has hardeners on, but no active reps. No turrets on him at all. He's just there for the newts, of course.
Newting. It's worth noting, like HYDRA, not only using Dominixes here, indicating that they love them, they are the only team to field a Dominix as their flagship. So it's not active in this match, but everyone had to declare what type of ship their flagship is. A lot of Vindicators, some Balgorns, a whole lot of Armageddons, one Dominix, and that's the HYDRA Reloaded one.
What mods would you want to be
Obviously, they know
upgrading?
something that other people don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, what makes that an attractive flagship? We were talking earlier about how ships with a lot of utility, like Vindies or Balgorns, make good flagships because of getting the extra range on webs or something like that. But why Dominix?
If they can get a hold of the incredibly rare drone damage mods, the officer ones, then those would be great. If it, as an Armageddon blows up for Solar Fleet, it's really just a matter of time now. I don't think HYDRA's. I would be very surprised if HYDRA loses anybody, unless they intentionally boundary violate for fun once they've taken complete control of the match.
Which I doubt they'll do. They're not really into shenanigans anymore in the tournament.
Yeah. Run off and try
Can't imagine why.
Try to SBU the Jove space. Yeah, I doubt they're going to do that this time. So you could use the drone mods, but those are really, really rare and valuable. They may not just have access to them. What you definitely see them using is newts and smart bombs, and potentially a faction energy transfer, because you're only allowed one energy transfer per ship, but a flagship can field a faction one, which is going to give you an advantage in that case if they want to go with the Dominix Tinker team. Makes
sense. So working on an Abaddon now, of course. Abaddons do have a lot of HP. One of the things that makes them a really strong ship, the armor resist bonus on top of really high base HP, makes them very bulky ships. Unfortunately, that's not really going to do any good for them here, and it's going to make this take longer for us.
Yeah.
But and that's an interesting trade-off. You know, we've seen, I would say generally that defensively focused compositions and ships are not doing very well in this tournament. Sometimes the Tinker stuff does well, but like Navy Scorpions are extremely tanky. Abaddons, I don't know. There isn't anything else that doesn't have the offensive side to go with it, I guess. But like, this just, I don't know, doesn't do that much for you.
In
you
this
need
case,
to be able to project damage.
Abaddons are a popular ship in normal combat because you can take a lot of damage, you can deal some good damage at good ranges, and then you can bring a bunch of support. So as long as you've got the people to web your targets, as long as you're able to actually apply the damage, in this case they just can't track. They don't even have any tracking disruptors on them, but they just can't track any of their targets. They are too heavily damped. It really isn't a good tournament ship because you don't have the ability to bring all the support that you might like.
Right, like if here they could have 2 Hugins along with it, plus a couple ships to remote sensor boost them, all of a sudden it'd be great. But like, you're way over and you can't do it anymore. So some ships need more enablers than others. And some of the ships that tend to be really strong in the tournament are ships like the Dominix that do a ton of stuff on their own.
And have a lot of flexibility. It's definitely not a flexible ship. It's really, really good at the things that it does, but it's very specific in that role. And that's why you don't really see it as used as much in the Alliance tournament. And with good reason. We'll see Solar is going to be dropping down to the elimination bracket, and HYDRA will be moving on to face the Godfathers, which will, wait, no, they won't. They'll face the winner of our next one, End of Life versus Darkspawn.
And do you have any idea who Solar will be up against?
They will be up against the loser of End of Life versus Darkspawn. Our next match. So we'll see who they actually face off to next. But HYDRA entering the winner's bracket, as most people expected. This, along with the Pandemic Legion match a little bit later today, are the two ones that on the betting sites you're seeing the odds most skewed towards. People are pretty confident about these two teams winning, and they're both probably pretty safe bets to win their first matches.
Yeah, they always seem to do extremely well. So if you guys have joined us lately, I know we're starting to hit NA Primetime. This is the EVE Online Alliance Tournament. This is our 11th Alliance Tournament. And we have tons of matches this weekend. We're in the middle of the 23rd match of day 1 of 6. And we're doing 32 today. We're doing 32 tomorrow to get our double elimination bracket started. And it's gone really great so far.
64 teams. They all represent alliances in the game EVE Online. It's a single shard universe, so everyone plays on the same server. We have up to 60,000+ people playing all at once on our server, and you can interact with all of them at any time. And this is something where the teams will send elite groups from their group. Some of them are very small alliances, some of them are very large. Solar Fleet, for instance, a very large alliance. HYDRA, a very small alliance. But HYDRA, an alliance that's very dedicated to the tournament, cares a lot about it.
Yeah. And always super cool. Also, as far as the actual broadcast, in case you guys have joined us recently, we are just doing match commentary, so we can just burst through tons of these matches for the first weekend. Next weekend, We're bringing our player commentators out. We have Bacchanalian and Apathetic Brent from Rote Capel. We also have Shadu coming back, the amazing Shadu, to help us as player commentators. And we'll be doing a full studio setup where we have a CCP Soundwave and a desk between matches to do interviews and stuff like that.
And bringing out guests and stuff in the final weekend. It'll be really good.
So all seems awesome. Only one ship left.
That damnation will probably survive the 30 seconds.
Probably so.
Have the survivor's guilt, left all of his friends behind. But yeah, he's it really just, like, Slorfleet was outmatched. As soon as we saw these teams land, as soon as we saw the Abaddons, we were both very confident that this was going to be an easy win for HYDRA. This is not a team that you can bring anything less than your best against and have a chance.
It's funny, we usually measure setups against Slipners. Like, you have to be able to deal with Slipners if you're, you know, doing something interesting like this. And I wonder if now we have to look at Dominix's. Like, can you deal with Dominix's?
Or ban them.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, that's time in the match. Congratulations, HYDRA. They will be moving on to the next match in the winner's bracket, of course, and Solarfleet are one match from elimination. We'll be back in just a few with End of Life versus Darkspawn. Thanks for watching.